process oborole neron lu
ebo
inerebere ne parent inerebere de duwe nyopangin konya kota abongun bere mot moneje mwalimu mwalimu kwa pe facilitator la ishisha na iko kwangin covid lo go ya unyo neje mwalimu na so dite obwe covid lo oya kwana borwe po na so dite obwe na ki mwalimu ichie that dignity la jai kere mwalimu arange mwalimu le mar kwana jo no private schools dojo kwana ai riamu ko ni duwe waragi aramere kwangin mami pera lote gweda arabie so ale mare mwalimu e dignity ngon ale ai boost sungin nare kwande an incapacity bo mamun aloti mwalimu kapanda balara ona chikarbe ai no me chapati ara ikona yes it can be income generating kwenye mamuti ara una kilo signet eradi korba ka be survival isa lusi ya tungana ngina mwalimu as suffered emotionally psychologically je mwalimu just get anguish latent annoyance just ne je mwalimu ebwa muna bwa mkopana na tukoni mwalimu no asenerta nera onto ni polo lo mameja kuna so ejai on berajbe mwalimu bere how do we counsel mwalimu pona pera lo mara dama mwalimu rehabilitate mwalimu motmot atete mwalimu kwa pera lo mara atukot lo ipu anyunu tu aichake boda badan lo ipu bas mamba bongo ringina and so on have you found maybe farming more lucrative than teaching? So it's going to be a challenge. I nyako ni tungangunu aneja asi I nyaka kinen. Ikariare lu jaro America lu pataka. So ekona rede bono mwalimu is so central in this discussion here. So ilosio na that time automatic promotion. Mwalimu is inside that discussion. Now ibu ya kirono is suggesting le baka ibonbe kunya kisidwe
ngare somebody would ask you chairman PTA would parents really allow across in nice amount ponango should they
na buto ngati amete nkaburu mutu so na soditi achamut berengo nunata eneri na chikane jai London ngina be ejasichi eboro lue ejasake na peta chronologically methodically ya to pit to jara ne professional now jara utana sit kato onane o makirane ikaruongon ja ketakina jozingna medicine and surgery ikarikanya and so on plus eborekeji internship masters in public health and so on engineering so ejasa na peta mu no bedjo odawane ingisi berjo otubu ikunyakini ingisi berjane otubu ikunyakini aribiro obongo anuja amisi kini bore odocho noi now au na isukunya joko chato primary bero kwa na ilo konyedo do na illusion in technical areas here ai isukunyu will be a challenge definitely two challenges will come itolomuno ni tungana na rejao de hare kwana couldn't close gaps no chapaka koto ipudin akote genius kwa isuburi kwa noni kwa ngin kona jembe long term we are literally killing chapaka a nation nara ijaya ntuko lubambe misingiza kirota lomo theater ijaya ntuko lubambe misikila lomo shanakini borepe kotozi iparade ke confident bone kwenye mambe pere are out very comprehensive. Yes, we understand the plight la pugan completely. Kwenye stakeholders le better lomo discussion kati yangu yesi so dimwe limun nara ijakere ikoku is at the center and we are holding the future of this country. So we need to do munum or as well grounded anuke sa kwenye kinai ngarengina. Yes, ejayesi du eluma mirito sa tukotageo na ageo apotu bichie now isabambe a formula le raile pertunga kira nyaka kiro not just one workshop, could even be several workshops through this brainstorm, refine this and so on. Chepa kipirna anyu ni moti nwejase. So amo kwa okelo mamu yongo atimarbe angeti ngakirta apugan konye ekotne reros bonbe chepaki ekokoro mon buna ngai kinone achin so ngaren anu onai protein barbaz kuyamzube half baked benyo etunganan.
Okay,
netu pakini araida ekatwano babala ngemu mwalimu lo polo mwalimu dalo ibuna jekni mwalimu pressure le polo no kat kwa yes relaxing mwalimu lo career Ricardo Pato but konye do kwana arlo margine bundo kwana esuburkis mere kwangin sai suburki ngene what is the efficiency and let alone his health let alone other ibolu kwa petunganan sibuno be ikone radio reda that welfare of atunganan ngon lo ibuna jawsingina advice kun. Therefore, what am I saying? We must do a lot of motivation in terms of personal welfare, in terms of the equipment. This is ICT. So, computer hardware, is it there? Computer software, is it there? What is the investment, first of all, in training a Shanakan so that it must adapt and adopt the new technologies?
Okay.
As of now, Arara is going a bongo located is analog way for understanding things, Lupokolo sake. So the preparedness is very important in this discussion as well.
Okay. Yalaman with Patrick, Jalax Vera Boja, and then Dokonyete. I don't beroni koku. Narai. These are students, these are kids that are supposed to have that automatic promotion. And also it affects in the other way. Narai eja onidwe lupes runen eja losap. Actually, as we speak, Dumunjo Bonebe. Alototidwe kopokwa nadu konoknose potiete, their life is just at large. Yes, Brenda?
Yes, please. Basically, like I said, I'm going to base on a girl child.
Ebo.
Me, myself, I'm a girl and still a student.
Okay.
Yeah, we have seen many cases of a girl child right now. In fact, a girl child is living under fear. And what brings about this fear? Just imagine this period of lockdown, I can say it's nearly 2 years. And students are at home, a girl is at home. What does she do? To idle, what happens at the end of the day? They go out hanging, very idle, end up getting pregnant. And what are the consequences after this?
Okay.
First of all, you see that many girls will drop out of school. There are very slim chances of a girl child going back to school. Due to this, due to this, the COVID period has brought about so many negative things to a girl child.
Yeah.
Talk about pregnancy. Now, how do you expect like a pregnant girl to go back to school? What will the friends say about her? It is a challenge to a girl child. Besides that, talk about this automatic promotion of a girl child. Yeah, to some extent, it would be right. Then to the other side also, it can be wrong. Why? See, take for instance a girl in primary 4. Just look at the size of a girl. Somebody has grown big, equivalent to a mother. So what does a person say about herself? I'm grown enough. I cannot go back to P4. What will my friends say about me? And this will force somebody automatically to drop out of school. And that's why I say that the chances of a girl child going back to school are very slim. Besides that, I would criticize the public. The public is playing a very greater and larger role in the misconduct of a girl child. You find that we parents who are supposed to encourage these girls to live a life of a purpose, we are the very ones forcing these girls to hang out, go for marriage, go for this and that, prostitution. Why? Because you want something to earn a living, which is not the right thing. As parents, we need to live as examples. That is it. You have to live as a role model. Now, if you don't live as a role model, how do you expect us, the young, to learn from you? Obviously, no way. There is no way. So me, I would say, as parents, we have to play greater roles in bringing up our girls. It doesn't matter the period we're going to take at home, but at least take charge and responsibility as a parent to make sure that your girl is safe. Maybe the other thing I would say is, yeah, it is true we are growing at home. I know it will look not good, not really nice for a very big person to go back to a low class. I would emphasize on government to come up with skilling projects. These girls are growing, and obviously when somebody grows, you find that when your friends are telling you, now you're grown, can you go back to school? The government should come in and bring out these skilling projects to skill a girl, equip a girl. Take, for instance, tailoring. Talk about making these renewable parts. The government can come in and help a girl child. Yeah, we at home right now, some of us are idle. We lack what to do. And what do they say always? An idle mind is a devil's workshop. So what I would encourage, especially the government leaders out there, together with our fellow parents, then even as the girls, we should stand up and speak for ourselves. Because if you shy away, then I don't think it makes any sense. You find that the other thing a girl child is going through in this lockdown is enforced labor. When I talk about enforced labor, meaning iborole langir dumam iko kien pese beita sam dumunjo be inakiti pese ngina sama krongun. What happens later on? In the long run, you find that a girl child is affected mentally. Then even the health of the girl. The girl is affected psychologically. She has a mental illness. Yes, and this is due to anxiety and depression, due to uncertainty, which is not really nice. So I would encourage the parents, the government leaders, at least to come in to the rescue of a girl child, because a girl is living under fear. And if we are not coming up, at the end of the day, just imagine, by next year, how many girls will be at school? 3/4 must have dropped out of school. So I would encourage us to come up, support these girls, support us really. We need support from the government. I can say, at least, ever since this lockdown started, me personally, I've not seen any counseling and guidance, at least in our village. But you see that we have government workers, we have people who claim to be counselors, we have this and that. They are not bothered. What happens? A girl from a village is not informed. So how do you expect somebody who is not informed to do what is right? Of course, I don't think. Yeah, the other thing I'll talk about on a girl child, irresponsibility of the parents have led to so many weird and negative things happening to the life of a girl child. This is when a parent doesn't care about the whereabouts of the girl. How can a girl child leave home very early in the morning and coming back late at night? You're not bothered to know where is she from, what about, but all you have to ask is, what have you brought? Can you imagine that? And that is how we parents are doing wrong. We are misleading our children. We are misleading our girls. You find that most of us right now are taking advantage of these girls. But the fact that you see that this period is too long, you need wealth, you need money, you give out your girl, which is not right really. And you find that even the government, even the leaders are not coming up to criticize such. We call upon leaders at least to come to the rescue of a girl child. What picture does it portray if a young girl of P6 got pregnant and the parents are not bothered? The government is not taking charge, the leaders are dormant. Portrays no good picture at all. At least I know of a girl, a P6 girl, very young girl, and a boy of senior 2, which have made a family already, and the government is not. Can you imagine somebody is getting pregnant at that tender age, very young as P6? In fact, and nobody's taking charge, but we claim to be having leaders, and the parents are there. Like for this case in particular, this is the girl who gets pregnant. The parents take her to the boy's family. What happens from there? The parents of the girl want 1 million, but there is no money. What the parents of the boy decide to say is, take maybe the boy and do him whatever you feel like. Not until when they came and got the turkey which was at home, which is not nice. Which is not nice.
Yeah. But then Brenda, as we head to Madam Marisa and then Mr. Olaki here in the studio. You have really concentrated very much and you've talked about your sect, that is girls. But then on the other side, if you look at pregnancy, all the things, you will find that boys are the ones who do this. How should girls be able to integrate with boys, the opposite sex, in terms of managing this holiday that we have, the COVID-19?
First of all, like I said before, these girls, especially girls in remote areas, they lack guidance and counseling. So what the leaders should do is to come up and some of these girls, give them guidance, counseling, and girls themselves should take part.
Would we say that integrating girls and boys, teach them together to understand the way of life?
Yeah, it's right, but to the other side, there is what we call sex education.
Okay.
This is when we educate the girls, in accordance to the sex, females and males. So at times you find that our parents fear even to talk to us about our sex life. They feel it's shame, but of course, which is not the case. So we call upon them at least to educate these young girls, especially in remote areas. Why is it that girls from remote areas here, villages, are getting pregnant every now and then? But when you look at areas like Kampala, there is a very low number of people getting pregnant. Very low. The girls have no guidance. They don't have counseling. Our fellow parents feel it's shame to share with us about some of these things, but which is not the case. Remember, in the 80 years, our grandies, our aunties used to educate us. Immediately they see that the child is grown enough to be educated. They take part in educating us. But so far as per now, they feel it's shame. I don't know. You imagine a parent, you have your children, but you claim to be very busy at work. What you do, leave very early in the morning, come back in the evening when the children are sleeping. In the morning again, you're out of home. You don't have time to interact with your family. Yes, and you see, this brings about so many weird things happening. Girls have involved themselves in drug abuse, which is not really nice. Due to group influence, you have that peer pressure in you that I should fit in this society. At least I have to do this. And for you, of course, to fit there, you have to cope up with the particular things and ideas. Yes, and this is all about the irresponsibility of the parents and our fellow leaders.
Well, thank you, Brenda. I know I will bring you at a later time, but for now, let's go for a short commercial break. And when we return, I will be having Malsa and Mr. Olaki here to give some insights. Mr. Olaki, I would want you to take us through when we look at the curriculum and the way government through CDC is trying to, is it National Curriculum Development Center, you know it. They are trying to say, be topics each year, Raja Lakin, then it's going to be covered in the next syllabus and so on. As a professional, a trained teacher, balnani piti ala ilobeja, siboro lue koto sijatu piti. Ilama jiborengi na kepolobe, ilama jo professionality kon oingaren. Na majipero rate marbe kopokwa na promoting nasi, na promoting engineers, promoting dietitians and so on. To the next level, you will get good surgeons. You will get good people who will go to the theater and begin doing surgery and operations. How is that going to be, lined up? Nare kwape mwalimi achamutengo be preja limoken soba. Araidi kwa ikidonen as a teacher. This should be ABCD, Nipero na swam. And then I will have Malisa, the other side, to take her through. This girl has really given us very good points here. Ebe, Malisa is somebody who is in touch in terms of culture and so on. Balabunbe in the African traditional setting and society way back in time, elders used to talk to their children. And we would also ask ourselves, what has gone wrong? Is it because there is poverty now encroaching on people that parents cannot concentrate anymore? You find a parent only looking for money, running up and down that I'm looking for money, but whatever, informal education that's supposed to be given to the child is not up to that. After this short commercial break, neda kona ibongno ne oto mapaki adik ne tupakini.
Ata kerioga noi eka kiro John Julius Ichoto ajana pape jeje somadi kide porlo Teso ido ipupuja night lockdown ipupujengo akaili pane jase sukiere ijeno nibe ade kana coronavirus mamelosi konyitunga kestolo sete etojo kasino balade ngotelo ngaleu ai boyore alana kina anapata mask ido anyitube inyamo ni nyamata ngala kitana itiji ade kanara bo aikeon economy olimoke ni chie da anu narai ajare ni jaro ni na mam ejare ronare ejare do tebon ido elipete neja ipapa lo kuju nara ngisi fedori nyini borekere yala manoi
And the rest ateke na Teso Aimoro au mishono. I want to give 5 minutes to Malsa. Malsa, the girl, let me give you this opportunity to take over from what this girl has given to us in terms of the African traditional setting, educating children and nurturing children. Because we see nowadays, jasi auria kalwa inaksidu as from businesses. Idumuja baletu ngene nbonbe kai jari lo bere naure, kai jari lore. Isoma business lo ikone are mugati alosto rimuto robate no balaje. But then we are also not looking at the dignity and the integrity that our children should maintain. Yes, Malsa.
Sorry, I just popped out and yeah, sorry. Please could you repeat it, that last question? I just popped out and just came.
Well, Malsa, I wanted you to pick up from what the girl was giving us here. She talked about the African traditional setting and society where parents and elders used to at least nurture their children, give them the way, teach them on how to survive. If it's a girl, you know, they used to even make things like reusable pads and so on, materials and others. Now that we have COVID-19 and we're talking about the future and the plight of our children, as a person who is in touch so much into culture, how do you integrate, marry what this girl has said to your points that you would give us this afternoon?
Yalama no moderator. So and our daughter will say Yalama no nerejo. Akotonga tamener kelate so narai akotongo oni I akirono puposi pako chanoida. Narai kotona keoni tunga okokere. Dodo inerita kowo kakirono ipuloi. No, you know, she spoke very good points. Ineritness in jokuna noi. So in terms of culture, igia berone nera akotongo beraite ten nebalar nesibe e pola potununu obore o chalo iti o town. O town in e jasi ichi boroni tiktiketi tunga potu. Konye mama akota lustingi na nara that's what not the area na akotonga encouraging our pesu. Kolosi icheja yo semero. Akuriaka no atotoposi keda ikosi na chaneneri kicheburo. Konya ibor itwene na maikita metron. Itutunga ka metron o semero chut. Nara dostingo kolo madera. Ebala metro na ikoto jomera pero kedisap. O prebojo kedisap. Konyi potuni jomo imero temar bikota chikuna koikin. Asi chika koikin ipolor jomo acho gara emoni koti koko mene jadu muni koku. That was the context of our sex education. It wasn't like colored now as it is colored now, they are delivering and everything. That's not how we were taught. So going back to this, I think we need to educate our children. Ajoki's voice of Teso, inera sesa kiron with kamuntos Teso. Yes, unese kosi poroto. And I think what can happen is voice of Teso. It would be good, maybe one of your programs for you to sponsor somebody in the medical field. I chorokodwe, the dangers, first of all, of teenage pregnancy. Nara, a gala potun at 12 o'clock, that their body is still developing and they are bound to have complications, especially as they get older and older and having more children. Number two, a boy producing at that age, around they've spoiled their future. Those are the people who will fail to find a way of idari doing. And then what will they start doing? Oh, ejina chikaneja kampala ranga nes di dope koko. Janeja isoroto angangi di dope koko. You don't know what happens to those kids. At the moment in the West, what is happening is a lot of our children from Africa, are into slavery. Diko nginu angara chekwa pa I to soma route is slavery treneni ito somawi agente be sukere slave mame tache jok. So eraja uruni konkok mamji jena ide losia chepaki bunga ikoni kokwa chepaki ikon kok yeni to somai buni trene bonga pasitari onora kana kan aneji koni koku. So going back to our own Ikati culture, one of the things I really encourage is those of us who have been blessed that we have got a poneli mania ejauteni. Ekotonda lose no re nera kinoske litungano ai apejo no kinesi tungano chalo aloste ngina boikira kesi. Katengo na losiango chalo ngina. Alosi ngo kati serere neja itataka alosi ngo ngora neja sikatunga. Doga boikin kedi duengu neja so chalo. Doga ngiti kesibe dogo jo mutanyo mo pariso maijo semero. Aloto ngo chalo da kotunga anyu na report ni due kereni didik. And you know what? Because you are taking that interest, I'm interested in you. They will be motivated to learn. Like now, for instance, when I go to Serere, I find a lot of these kids we boy take a tatan or chalo mingarana kilete donga anything to bengu donga limo kumijenijo. Akono joda tika iconai I togo gunga koni sisia chepa kudunya chalani paikane. So we are passing on those values to our children. And those children will also see you be abwina chopeda ekonai. Nara inga losti ngokerke sapiri primary school a okolo araingi koku. Losti ngo sapiri ritwen itebe harito ritwen ngini sapiri ondole adoke tightening. Apolo kia pedo ngoda ekonai adole adoke tightening. So that's the kind of inspiration we need to be inspiring in our young people. We need to be inspiring in our young people because ekoto joda swama gogo. You know, our number one, they have nothing to do. This is whereby I'm so disappointed that the churches have been closed. Narai, in Wara, we had formed a partnership with the church, and what they were doing was it when we were dropping it out of school because amameti school fees, a chepak mamit many twenai show. Olosi twenai konai, I see I donya chalani, I doni kapun, no sapanguno, utasikesa konai shisha brick making. And then because a lot of them are kadito samusugul kedaimar, what they put in the curriculum as well was learning at least English and math. And also they put in that curriculum business studies. Naroko tunichetunga, inakcholo litweni lukumina kwa tatabope ogai pakas. Ipaka sauni esabite dope some business a job, da nyamari kapun kere mwa, elapalo yare tagono ke business. So these are the kind of things. That's why I'm really passionate, you know, about Voice of Teso. Let's advocate at least for the churches to be open because there will be a sense of community. You know, pastors, sometimes their parents, yes, in our daughter spoke well earlier that some parents abandon their responsibility. But hopefully, if we can get churches engaged into like youth groups, they will meet their fellow peers who have ambitions and they will look at their peers as role models. And the other thing as well is parents, as parents, we need to get back to our responsibility. Kolon or Teso, Baka, it takes a whole village iconai, I topoloni koko. Iloto je pali, kati poloni siche, ipali onorijo, danyu jo ipali kiti jo town. Achepak mama iko digi parijo. Dabne right disciplining a jo town anen. Echesa we kere jo de losoreku saida jo. So we need to bring back that spirit of iconai, looking out for each other in the Teso culture. So that is where my passion comes in about culture. As it is, so we have a very rich culture which we need to build on to develop ourselves. And when I'm saying developing ourselves, it's not just economically. We need to develop ourselves in a way. Okay, Yalamano, someone has just posted a message saying churches have been open. I'm pleased to hear that starting from today. I'm pleased to hear that. But yeah, going back on the issue of culture. Culture, we need to use culture Ijenjo, like now the organization whereby I know Voice of Teso, you're in partnership with IDO. IDO means Ateker International Development Organization. What makes Ateker? Ekotona jenanara. Ekotonge dari koni koku dari jodi kakoko. Iwanyo ni be jamo jong ni kona ikanya tengenyi na. Ojasi jinya mate. Mama tije berna yata kedupe koko la tapa ngoe katapa eduki koko angamo jongin. So those are the kind of things we need to come back. Let us educate our girls. Let us educate our girls. Like now, for instance, with the Teso online lessons we are doing, we are not only doing the ICC Angaje, we're also doing Iconai, no li Teso, kote boko li Teso BI. And a lot of our children are actually gaining an understanding, not only children, we're even talking of people in their 20s, 30s, outside Kukube, kolon wapapa, for instance, kolosi poloni, even ilimonete jo wapapa, yes, apatatemar ba kotunga imanya beru. Ingisi jo papa kon, I bobere je konikai. I be ja kon misri nyobi dukiti jo. Also no okay no lo iteso kwana. E joko nere minister cheruda. E temare sapata be kota man. E poti tunga pesa ikonai. Hanyun ba be je kere. Ara dere do pe kai lanya mama che koni rene penen. Nari borokata mnesi naitos jai nyo a responsibility. Konye kwana area muno sa pesa lota pesa akero town agwela kine sweetie acheba tagwela kina kinye tapero kila ngoro ai bode jai buste sane esa patana lelo sineja pesa we need to return to those values, you know. Kotona bongoro pone no kola jata tariburo Teso ijo de sapati lo sa bodi arkina pesa tunga ojeni jobe jas no papa ke e jasi ke nachan e jas no mama ke jasi. So that community spirit kept teenagers in check. It kept moral values in check. Now, moving forward, I think we can still revive those values because when we look at our counterparts like in West Africa and everything, they are still doing it. We need to learn those. We need to keep talking. We need to keep talking. Kate radio lokolo, yalamanoi Voice of Teso. We need to keep talking nejo kotunga. Shanakin tunga ba bongo sikako de soma ebiburu. Nesibone pone nosio Nigeria kati Teso. Konye tai. Elo Stephen Udidi Kawuri. Before you know they have 12 children they can't look after. Before you know Gerta Rodea Konilupo. Ha ngone do keje jo keje Kampala. Eje ngone bulaya mama che. Before you know around iduona che kona around no so bikoni kunyo koni enemies. Itunga no itechelete jo chalangina. Itunga no se ba anyunu ni wachuda kada bo yara singo narai koto so ngono pana terisiruma anupo.
Yes, Malsa, we first want to hold you there. Kurubere sajalakin janin pakidio ibong boboni nara rokosi akron utona emora. Kurna misiksi aneja deputed teachers wrote senior secondary school. Let's look at the curriculum. Nara just kwa nao kodwe toma oreria. And we are looking at the future. Iteone be biebo ngarne kech, biebo podesha kech, owaila showman. Epedo rose. Ido ipero na ito dolikin na balapu ganbe erakwa na ite monokine curriculum lo, and people do not even understand, are we on the new curriculum na iko jete ya une curriculum iche tamto sibo boti semera to parking opote bobakiro no bakebe mam alemana sido beri chieboro doko jete bikana kisi chieboro isisha ngaren. Is that pace really working? Idobara iswa mai nunyo ekabeiti kwa na idue aswam nara chamto ngobone ba assessment ecology ina process idwe. The other first lockdown abakate bosho matidu toma television, pupoti radio, kwaikisai online and so on. You did a little bit of assessment. Erokobo boko jete lockdown la buno lo apotana lo mastoma ebuno. What was the experience?
Yalama na Charles Akero. Kuto berenga imorikin kere na choko ngineje nobulaya. Nerfinge sakroni pu.
Yebo.
Ajango ngina from 2019 to 2020 ne pebune lockdown. Limuting SB, there is what they call mental breakdown. Abedbera come ngoda lokolo. Ajango Manchester ngina umusugu ngini bore so amange reba kai bore bakai be everybody for himself and God for us all. Amikoni kata ona ne bare so mai kijiche bore. Jauni bunitene kerune jajo. I have an experience ajango ngina japesi na ja Scotland. Obuna otwani kikai kokude pufuta kere monyi. If you can see such experiences. Now for me, what happened was that Manchester life was very difficult. You know, you're living on your own. I had to get Teso large in London. Aranga nyunda na alasai boy kide ngun. That's where I spent my 6 months. So you can see how difficult COVID has been affecting everybody. So let me go to the curriculum.
Yebo.
Kopane curriculum lo Uganda ni. Enera ngono ne ono somere lo secondary. Syllabus iare kopani somasi. Ijaya na kolito somoni ya. Nera teacher centered. Raje mwalimu asaya dakiri wodi kaiti duwe nyo isena nyo kesi practical si borongul.
Yebo.
And you know sciences. I am marakiri borongul. You cannot claim to teach them on radio. Ijali mo ni kokobe. Ibia ito dek na ji kokobe. Gira kure ja blackboard kwana. Wodi kai kwana jo long division ara nyo isena kini jo. On radio be put this. The eyes are very fundamental in seeing. So what am I saying? This radio thing.
Does not work.
Before I get into that, let me explain the issue of this curriculum. Jangin ne right teacher center de bune mal mai gwang no limono ne sa na ungi se sude ba have you understood? Are kamo de jara mera je dalim. Hey yeah. Okay? So onyu ni je mere. Do kwa ne je ba do pe. Na ko pa ne je. Idu ko la ja ses one lu. Ke idu ko lu kwa na beta. Alo ses 2. Okay, le beta bunere kwa no P7 mere sa du na borengini. Osori de luko pa na ja ses 1. Le beta lo ses 2. Erai curriculum le baka child centered. Mwalimu akona some erai 9 activities ne meti do ikona yi. I top itaki jo keso tomo groupun. But yakara so group kusungina tori kines be nunge sabeta some they set for you what they call a scenario. Those you are the ones who originate answers ne beta icon. Ne beta bongo kid. Then the teacher you will all settle down and then you will discuss kusibora and you make your points. That one empowers a child the more. Because now it gives you time to think. I mean, put those kids there, I mean, that very just a goal na papala. Nah, is is different from it, and actually it will benefit Uganda more. The way I look at it, the child-centered curriculum. But now the issue is, it is for S1 and S2. Others are continuing with Yana Mojongoya. Nakol jeno nishom doni kera jeno woni kerishom tia.
Ebo.
Dokwana, where are the problems? One, abue COVID. Now you're giving S1 work, and you're using this child-centered approach. What are you sharing on radio? I bet you have to coin it a group discussing at the How are you going to do that? You're not going to achieve that. Then number 2, first of all, one radio ndaber. Let's just assume the radios would be effective. How many people in the villages can afford radios? Look at those places. Eje 20 radio dobera makaran. Amakaran is also a problem. So that one cannot really help. We cannot promote it on the basis of Benareshum Dosakai or radio. Now look at even newspapers. You're always seeing a material, study material, or kabore on newspapers. How many people on Teso and how many can afford a newspaper? Amita keripedo kwa nyalimoza. Any vision? Sirigindi.
I even don't know.
So you can see. Now, if
it's around 2,000.
If it is about 2,000, the parents will call Chalangina. First of all, I nyamber I nyama deranyo. At Yonis. Harabori do my lukumini arena. Golaniko kapapalangini pack. I rebe. Jasa kironi. Rejono. And you know, a child, if not supervised by a teacher, does not learn. That's why there is a Unatumoto, because the nation is. That one cannot work. Then the issue of television. These days we have what they call digital satellites. And you have to subscribe. If you cannot afford to subscribe, even the ones in town sometimes fail to do it. TV. I don't know. Maybe it is still on pipeline. I'm a civil servant. I'm giving a measured response. But I haven't yet seen, I don't know, maybe it has been implemented in other places. So that one is something that is affecting. Now, you are asking, I think you are asking on how we as the communities, how can we try to improve on the studies and work do it during this COVID time. One thing I'm saying is a COVID law. Adabu nere ejai mamera elebe tanyon kopana. So no polok aurea kavera number 1. Joka paorian. Idari kon ko joko. Acha maitu da somna sa lapado center na ngulai mata koro apungo masicha koro ni sapa kwa na jesti pale kwain. That one is not going to help. You as a parent, you have you you're a stakeholder in the education of your child. If you don't take care of your child, amena ngapupe no radio na chepa no meto ngabe. Ko doti ngulo jaso somerong na amena sido sidwe. Na ili mtu kwa nazo amena siso. Amena to se sangina. How do you expect us a pedor? Train ngata bosa pedor. Konyo tam to beres da o waikus. That's one approach that you can use. Kede bodo ipedo bodo ejaje radio. Ami ina ini do ai pupe music iboni. Pupe yo deje program bele ota enerna show manara ichora. Iwo ronjo da bere lukoni ngulbo ko ido elo pod bere so tuko ino so radio lo jeni jatar. O pu bere jo di kam ne bera disa ne mina ngara di jo. Oso di na yare are na uniete kwana. Ko tengali muni kwanata. Imwali munu beri mwali. Lo ejas kingangi na. Ationis kopana eja oni. Balapu gan badun verone katolo. Ichamuto na kironi ne rasito nga bigwa ikini ja balbo kepiri neni. Beno kuni. Eja le bakas bigwa ikini jo elemari ja kim. Ipuitu ngala dumute kata jone na pa kolo. Enga da nga dumuni yare kere. Atameto ya jelo bido ko ngabore. Enusula kwata kanyi banyi nari makai. Agire bora makai. Atamecha alem na balba ido ko ngone. Autu na mole moji gwaik. Agira bora nokun. That's what we call a conspiracy theory. Nginda ngine baka ba makimingin. Those are all lies. People are functioning. There are so many people who have undergone that vaccination and they are very normal. So let us forget about the theories. Ejai bechi ele bala bolo. Be to akere to ngada oni carriere. Kopani musu kuna gena geta dumne katoloi. Adolto bali carriere da. Ani be geta to karangina. So that is one thing teachers themselves should discard. Toni woria ka tonga lo chalo da mi chamu do sa kirong ni nganga lari tonga. Eja konye bolo lo dini lo e bakas be bore ngora be 666. Be beast le jo bible. O kwelo li tonga lo. Inga bodo beri limo ni jo kwa en. Raja deke raja de dumuri ya kona kirane ja satana rane ja ngai. I vaccines ageon na pa kolo e jasi ingara ito situnga. Kopana jari tunga lipu. Apaki abu ngo dokte toli ne radio bala lo palo. Bitunga no le twakete kesulu e gitro sa dumu nyo. E kato. I'm happy kamali mulo sora teses. At least over 80% kopana adumu tebore. E first dose ke the second dose. I'm encouraging teachers from all other schools. O cham tu beresa kirone e kato. Keda uria kada. Do makache balako pana puganbe. When your child reaches 18 years and above, ngul o chama isido loto katro. Nara idwengu po limi kata esukes. Oh, ilosa ya unasade kasini. In fact, ingara so chalo yangi na. Jukana so chori mongi ni kata kana so kata kwa ngaya. Jukari so kuni ngulo de longi na. Obukia di yangi na. Neni bokonye yaun rekwane sa yaun. O chama isido dumuti katro so des dali mo jongtong lo chalo yangi na. O dumuti berese borengo. Eteko pana nga farasiano. Bala ribere bobodue. Ari opolo ko noi. O tamata beresu o dumuti kato ingu. That is one intervention. And then another thing that we can do on a copy uriak le PTA. Quite soko pano sorateses. I'm giving us an example. We have been producing notes also the questions le peroda as I shom. Di woro no ni so kesi. We send them bulk SMSs. Au munun e materials mun. Ipedoso sauria kakopane tuno rekopane situation kwana. Auria kati kwatere PTA jechama la PTA ni.
Okay.
Ipedoja limo ni koni uria kama kache. I contributing pedo sauria kara I contributing a paplayara stationary. Iso kwa pisomero. Ijisomero le pedo sa samsine. Pedo so I producing materials, questions sera inyo kwa at aworo inete suke di kusidwe bo shomata. Kidoki somero le pedo sa makirongu. Konye ifu lana do chalo yangina. Lo jido gweli koni bore pero ya ngaro somerong na bo kwe autamana bero mojire kisi kosi duenyo apapula ne pero tebe kisi dairi reonoro chalo ajin bongo be jay material le yauno no le jukure na puganlu ngulde tamiti bisiara nai aja ni kini duwe so mere oli puko parala pugan bala to nulo private jukareta iboro ngul enkara ji kusido menente bere material ngopengo no mi boy kina limbe kwa pesa amount renu pala sa palar
okay yana manoi echa kai Patrick kwanado across na kamnara kedasho mana idwe eperi kwa nakani na auriaka na solitary chama ini kwa lost automatic promotion the deputy teacher here is saying their materials rebaitidwa isisha online and radio is not working because they have ever done the assessment and now be idwe lupolu are they really up to this game things are not easy now what message are you going to take to the parents kwana
yala mangono
dari do ne la palo sodit rai kere ke bobo na mami jenne rai do bere ne ba ke be bongoro no na palo sodit mam pak de jena
yala mangono nebe tuna ato pakin akota ngato sama musinga waka parenting
ebo
in general now otoba atunes kwa ni journey odi kwa pa uriaka etoto bere ni bori disi kwa ati aluta na soditi kapanda bala raka pesina get to one-on-one atamata bero ni ebonu gnoske de dualu aswetani unok ni duelu o apo ti duelu ani journey ajidi kwa nga jicheto ndo do mamngala pada showmet dodo inyoba bora ngali mokni ko mam iko ku boni beiraja papake mamji showmet even yali mokni be mam kera nga koto jo osubuka ango abuya buchuongo kwanajo iketa kinakoka iketa kinako koka mupon is a message also do rare nen ejiche tungole showmitos mamera jo awriana no ibon chapa kinachana ba pesa ngepangara sapata ngopangon ara gotiral tiriche de rase bindit ito sa matarre ngin anani be Federico Kwene ibora ba samsung benchmarking ai shisha unu nyono ajoka kune jase o neighborhood anu na better to parking mere kwangin so one-on-one it can also be group of course be kate orene limono kini yongenera bete lukadwe kwa na mabungbo bake koko kere itomate tunga the youngest 25 years konye ngoni ngeta kete ngoni karu ejaye meeting oreka ari rajala kaisa ngona ejaye buno meeting oreka ana kupune porta papa akota nganyi nyetu pakini otoma ijara ko mer kwangin and they know that no ejaye polder is structured so structure means ekojo ojaye na peta mami julu ita belolo ne lolo mam so that's one ne yare kini enyiko kisibene ai atake no kodwe ai shishaun akiro no covid e joke enyeza je kini duwe achamu no bakabe kapo kote silibuna yauta no ayara ikito ebe yauta no tunga oto akai do esa chamu no akiro no bako oto akai atamtu ngo chalo kana abutorium adumunu nga test no kilo we come to the covid lo mami tunge pupete ba down kerkada kopani nesko kunyo to akitekerka a test no ngina ngisi chula taretunga functions mun katilo na ngarlo na sabiti baka ba kwatare ijoba lele bikani santone tonikinga e control amame dojo papa berba pira jum koni koku ebe kwana rilo yoro kanisa da kwana katate a mask bernara akapa kinos beronda anu kwana aluste ai ya muna aluche so that's parenting ekoto security la koku ojai akoto kon kwa pejo papa na itu bakini akoto ngoni ira auriaka etoto berone be ikoni koku ngisi ebasite be ngisa akoni jaron ara mamu yitetinare koni koku wero kedit baka kerke kitoida polori itamajo ibile doja ibile na edoliti iko kone joko jona rimari edite yata kupukwa ngini so ichi polur kapanda bala ina chika masa ngina aranga iko kone yaketa inwangora ngina bala ngini ibongu jange konya para sana makere ngiyong lo so bara so chala kus makere in 1977 so ara ikube koto ko keno makere kon ber makere rai sa awasa nai kon lo makere rai otomo ngina konya chamta aya kyan ajemi ngorlu puno orori alepu anacha mutibe arang koko So that collective responsibility, now ni ure ka kwanka kolbe boykinus beronda kapi ure akbe etata meteberone boykinus berone adu beronda agenda oko kedale elo si wan ngon are bote nyumba kumika ko nejar e mameti borogun, and yet I'm sure are those organs to be used teacher pake edumnete adio mi sure ne pa nakita aterare amni chetu le nini kida achamunu aikone alo singare na itu pakini yesna bala mwalimu ikatunga akero na nyesa chambe jaya shisha na rai complete free itena are kizibo erabore ya ngakaso mauruna urun konya akero na jagwala ngini kon ko borongo basics mpon ara papule ngune bala mwalimu alemu te kwa kati kwa na ijekinse nga achwa bota maberejo aitwa sama ikon office ya tamazono office ni kwa
nari raigone office ilo
anwanyu
pero chokina kira uriaka
ijepo le peta atatomuna papule konya dodo ni da atamate contribution. I am very sure that one is going to be even my agenda. Ara mamso idumune AGM konya ka agenda na urune ka PTA le tupakino ngarangina. I must front this. Nara members of the PTA lo ngora school ishara Teso kere ejelo suruti ejelo bukede just kere seranga chaka kina mshodi bone ikatunga kesnuta be members, relevant members in your respective areas. So asweti ti anjbe epuna ngum akotunga limbo ke njeja kataki orikere alu chekere ngora school ngese do pesomero lo aduki e PTA e gorofa la pesu ko pa neroni apesu na A level jeko so kuju over the 6 or so years ipelosa adukune gorofa le billionit 1 billion shillings e gorofa as PTA. Is that not possible for a popular dikanu so ilumune poli packaging aje message to ngai come message keda ai to dikene to be accountability ijaya bait elem tun keje sirigin irima bere to torik be eto ko ker kajele balon ngeslota ibor na potan som ngesenta iyala mikna uri na rete wanya rengil kumba kaisare. In fact, Ngora is been suggesting be kwana etu boti due otoba kaisa kanyare ndo pero poto arasi 2019 lo all level etu bote do ta kwatat ibuni so aya chamna ya tekno isini nyobo taka kopoka na all level poto ronza akwa tuni 103 in division 1. So I'm going to challenge ye uri akabe ikatunga inomo chabo se igolo ekwa exbai. So you must cultivate enthusiasm and energizing stakeholders who work of course primarily akoto kunga yatakimbe kwana akiro na balrapugar ai kunyaki ngare ipena debating ko a debate doesn't help us. The way is to adapt, the way is to move forward. Now while you are moving forward abako akido ngara merikwangin adama de wali nyoda kwangin. So what does I walwal na adama mean? It means pay attention to innovations nweli mununo spoko baka ituru kwana achamte ituru tenyina. Pay attention to advice nelo muniti tunga le piriaka. Pay attention to even what your conscience tells you. Enyesa tambe la kagenanke di kachan enera bedi yali mumberwa ko la kagenanke kachan ijaite nyo chan ijobe ri chana sek i kokono P6 aurikin yenda S1 S2 ichari le jaru so neye si idu buba ngun are jartada era lo cost basate so nani chana super lusek ilus ko maya takna our bolu chana si. So that kind of cycle will continue, and if we don't break it, just like this COVID, to break this COVID, yes no pop no mokonin ilot rakanin iko exercise masks in your social distancing. That's the way to go. We must break certain cycles of certain things, some kind of thinking. Now obunu bado ne yasi kereste ko kati chiefs ijakada hunulu yaito sana otomai bosho ko kwangin ichie bongun kapanda bara koka ichie bongun e palutatu nganan ichie le nyamle be as long as ikaro tebune ne mama ngapodo enyezi tunga itebon be investment lo bet na tolo mungesi lota aneja uske diko kwani dede ngija kanga ko si chi polo lo ironya lo gwa geno ngunlu anga kwangin ne tukukina collector dada yasi titibore jali apalutu lu daba apolore tunganan mamnga pedori are ko to chute elosi abunere e medown yeselosi abunere rasakna ragena ko pupu ko musa gorme ayaw yolu kachu eke jenere gon ayaw yolu kachu are ko mame shomiti UPE walbe banker kan shop UPE koto ngwa ka chut so eki oberu ngara to buy as a lem nika aje kini kapun mam kana ja ko peda ngara keni atins na iko ne je ni so ngis ba kai lepa only kere stakeholders in this game here imweli mun ijaka kere tunapugan kapena ron.
Okay, now Patrick, let's look at the policies. Nare ageu natina email na ada mali sang neli muta kronu besisha na so kodwe nyaka se pole jatra kronu kolo. The young girl has also spoken almost the same voice, and you have added it unto it. And now, across we come to see idwe, we are also looking at the governing policies Reja Sitoma. And I would really ask you, Kwape Kukuleru, do you think policies Reja Tarikeda Pugan Kopokana, which have been misunderstood and Reja Sitonga, have contributed towards this? Because ijatem ayaun kwa na approach ni balaron be collective responsibility opotikiro baka children's rights upotakiro ni kamana rake the responsibility of the children upotakiro ni punoi yet areda kolo nari baje ba dedengi gom chips ruom salatu and so on. The approach was working, but now situation lo yoni kida kwa poko no Uganda, you don't touch someone's child alimoretu ngenda. What is the problem? And then the other thing is, do we really have an attribute of poverty into what we're discussing here? Indeed, where we have now got the gap between the poor and the rich. The rich have gone growing richer and richer, and then the poor have also remained poor and they are moving down.
Okay, I'm a moderator. I don't know policies. Ari koto na rai mam. A policy berges berinyo. E rai nguna ina peta nwe ya uno anueta ma ai tetenari eifwa mae. Itunga kire meredo petunga nani. To forge a direction, right? To mitigate a problem, or even to accelerate icheburu. So ilumune policy anambe pona ni tujo ka racket so that collectively we move. So policies lu alom tona pugan. Of course it total parliament in kon lum te kwang. Apolo ke dauta mome joko choti o level angon. Konyika people pioni ije nda iboro munichie have remained on the shelf. Interpreting those policies at local level has challenged people. Akotunga limoko nyobe akati range chairman PTA at a senior secondary school level. Konye PTA no primary and lower. Ikatunga, I've attended a few of them. Momji dubuni borchina baka be PTA jaitoma. And yet, a PTA should not be a power play. Mamara ni loso de EGA governor SMS ke de PTA. About board of governors ke de PTA.
Neba katere banda udula ake cheta sekina ibichie.
So, abo isna ati ngunbere fasa amesikin ekisilike jari. They themselves are ignorant. That is it. Mambe podokusa agenda be what's the new dimension ne lusingaren. So iborolu ekotogya to cascaded from osomero ngna head teacher iketunga deputies ike nyonyo kwangi throw them to us, for instance, in a meeting that as PTA iboro kerkalo etete kakis. Now we can relax wherever we are. Because it also it can be an agenda, but let's refresh ourselves on policies that are there. Policies will come to the children's rights. For me, extreme, I support 100% or even more. Now, what are those rights? The educational rights, which we are talking about. They are health rights, which we know must be there. There are rights which go with the responsibility. Mama Raibon rights to claim, but they also say there must be responsibility into them. So those ones are definitely clear. The issue of Mama
and we are seeing also violence and just how we react in front of the children.
Yeah.
Where shall we derive the examples from?
Thank you very much for going there. Now, bad behavior like Coco, how do you approach it, for instance? One, never attack personality violently. Attack the bad act. And explain the consequences. This is the progress we are talking about. No, you make it worse. You are making it worse. But if you explain, and for me, according to animals, I have 2 girls and 4 boys. Again, they are closer to me than even they are close to their mother. They show pants, I know it's obvious. Papa, I got a better so halfway, then you know what it is. You must just, I would even I was buying. On that one. So it's true, even for your carer, even for anybody else, that is where to go. We know the biological nature of these girls. We know what they need. Why should you harden your heart? So, mundu kere mnyesu nga rekin bo police. Are roko yiko ni punish yourself a roko. Tinye kada pakin ngina. Na ijai dai koko. To ni lolo enera abita na ngitata ika. Ido mga bale bunina ichi etona tema adiakationg. Abitar because there's a cause for abitaro. Kwa imera aida na emiki nyamat. Ai ruku inyo ichuete. Then those excesses are the ones no matcha maita ichuta the right job. The issue now of human rights in another interpretation comes in. Don't go that extent. Deal with the situation, deal with the problem, and how that problem can be addressed without harming physically. A job who even harm emotionally. Amoro yo duchu. Kapotondal pit manita mor. I duchu kta beri ya ibrabas I kudak beru ya. Ni ne bara berbe do bunga ngai bunga. Itiane ne kudere ngene paran. Ara inera tutokoni ducho kitabune na ijo kedi kontunga nyuko e people ngini noi. So it's true to a child. Ya yo isanga la kuulu. Sidi be roba mbere nga urta. Obuche tunga na ninche yo wororo sa akiro no chala ngina. Bongola sibere da kato na chipatunga be lo poli puto lo boloke dango. Iko kweni aje P7 eja tuto kene je kasulo. Ite ye kitakena lo chuti mamule reka bego. So what message are you saying to this kid? Even if not yours. Biologically, people talk about this DNA thing, complicated things which are even stupid. Mamu, you want to be jaikiro, or chama absorbing each absorbing locally. The moment you go to the excesses, inyayo anjinyora.
Okay. Yalama. Chamto ngeroko kapa kinarai. Kutanga dum malisa kede. I would also ask the young girl here, at least let me have some 3-4 minutes with her, and especially on how you can build hope. You know, now, these students at home, they are listening to you, and they are really up to hear. To hear what are you going to tell them? Because you've given them the challenges. That is true. We have all those challenges. But then how should children of your age, how should students of your age and, you know, your bracket cope up with the situation? It is not our making, it's not the parents making that you children are from home or you're at home. How do you build hope to your colleagues?
Okay. Yeah, like for my fellow colleagues outside there, I would encourage you, both who are still patient and those who misbehaved. Anyway, for those who misbehaved, it's not the end of life. We still have time. And by the fact that there are so many things we can do to earn a living. In fact, there are so many skills one can decide to do. Take, for instance, catering. You can go for hairdressing. You can go for tailoring and so many others. Still, it's the way out. It's not the end of life. Then for my friends who are patient, yeah, let's stay patient. As we keep ourselves busy a little, at least involve yourself in some activities. Take, for instance, agriculture, especially if rains come back or when rains are there. Help your parents at home. Do agree, so that by the time schools come back, at least you have something to raise fees from. The other thing is, I would also encourage my fellow friends to do things which are constructive. Take, for instance, business. Me, myself, right now, I'm doing a personal business, and it's helping me out. Now, when you find yourself hanging out idle, I believe it's when you end up messing up. But when you have something which keeps you busy, you find that at all times your mind is occupied.
Would you recommend them to do some business?
Exactly. At least something to keep them busy. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Palsa. We need to have your way forward because Dakara kwa nanu etu pakinete iloso ni apupu ndeba kaswoko tunga we are discussing what next for our children. Ido uto na yaunu issues to do with the policies. Nara ni nera roni ni come to the policies. Neroni ke the future and what is next for our children. We should also be able to understand what the policies are trying to give us, such that we bring the understanding that where we are heading to with our children will be able to be having a leeway. Yes, Malsa.
Children. First of all, I want to address this question by saying we have some members of our community, Teso community, who are very blessed living in the cities and everything. They have access to online education. Maybe they're in a position to donate a laptop for a community. Maybe even in the diaspora, wherever they are, we should take ownership. Even organizations like yourself, Voice of Teso, we could take advantage of this in donating on a laptop or even a small TV. So then what will happen is if parents no chalo ibuma kine pepe. Dodo achepa yede jasaki moreke are sola kwaen. Didu atukokin in one place. They can still be informally learning, but it needs parents I buma kine pepe murkikin. Kanata enera reja kaito kilo. It may even be parents atemarba tukutika pundo na ikonai I employing idopetweno round mwalimu. Because so far research has shown even the pen of Bulaya, children need to be supported. They need to be supervised when they are doing online lessons. You can't just leave a child online and go away. That's when they will start accessing other sites, site boro tai time taparete kesi bobo, nomunareta kese damanoida. I, for one, am in support of children working, Kanata Balaroko, a getting as a business. But that also has to be with supervision. Because before you know, somebody else can take advantage of that child. Or before you know, that child's now thinking, oh, and depending on that kind of business, it could be a business which could fail in a year or two. And then what leaves the future for that child? So moving forward, I think we as a community, we need to I want our leaders to get together and start a meeting. It could be facilitated by the Voice of Teso, or Tukutunu or TEF, or Tukutunu or Iowa, or Tukutunu or Teso professionals, Teso parliamentary group. Let us get together and come up with a strategic way of supporting our people. Apugan promised radios, it's not happening. The reality is, even Bulaya Nepene, Mamera Apugan is so I don't know whether you've heard of a gentleman called Captain Tom. Polonilo managed to raise a lot of money for the National Health Service through his, mobilizing and everything. We need to take ownership for that as well. Teso mam teselos apolori because of Apugan. Elosetes apolori nari duen wa teso nwe pepele kite pone le jatatare. Ikese nachana keri duen wa teso nese pota itopolo teso. We need to look forward. So yeah, in summary, let us see how we can also support our children gain laptops for learning, even if it's a group of 20, 30 of them at working adopt a laptop at a certain time ICCR, we get a teacher to oversee and support them. Then secondly, I want us to seriously look at vocational institutions for our children. A lot of our children, 2 years out of education is a long time. It's a long time. Especially a rap is in a right 15 kwaen. Ichana siko ni uria kaseke. Bakasi kubi mamdo sio dipendo. Amita dukokin. At least let us skill those girls with those skills. And even those who have become pregnant, it is not too late. Having ikoku does not rule you out completely from improving your life. That's where we parents need to come in on our the last time when I was in Ngora, ajaberu ne ngara kitito misrimina. Manga chamuna daki kokangin. So now if you already put a roadblock for your child, how is your child going to progress? And then it's the same you, the mother of Bola, if you do not allow if you do not support them, how are they going to look after you in future?
Yalama noi kwangena teker otoma kaisa kayawni chunya kon Voice of Teso kon program loka Teso gang ido ikoto angar na pona kwa pe aring na Plight jen kir jolo na tigemu na ipupe radio kede kospe jokolu nyara retebe polo ko icholo ngolu kanyeto wok mame pero ta jaut lu da nyara rete aja kaito dongo lasi ya chama na 5 ongora kede aja kaito lungat Nelson alaijo tomo district alo 10 kwa pe chairman 5 be mam kese pero ta jautune nare ya sibere bonwa kopo sikesi achie otherwise iroko ni joni keda oko program da kan tomon nges da na lomari isawana ludera si tomon lwa tibong ne dai dumna konu misho namba le simu perja jukakin toma sms note kanyari kedi kanyeuni wongone note ikajeuni uni kedi yare o solikin perja no me kon sime note uni kanyangon ya arei kanya uni wongone note kanyeuni kedi wongon Airtel priya no menot kanyare not idiopet kanyuni kedi wongon enot yare keda idiopet beneto mo studios pejo kolu pupije gatasi amchala tangin ebakai malisa nada leje to makwapuna Olandan rengesi director no kamna keda krono ka kalcha keda ireno kena krono Apollo na ka tekere sinei osodikini do aneto mo studios jengo keda jakaito Kelo Patrick Loader Executive Director lo Agribotech Billington Vocational Lajo Serere dobore chairman loka PTA Toma Somero Ngora High School sodikini ikoku Akol Brenda student Otoma Somero Location High School kedaja kaitola ki Simon Peter Loader Deputy Head Teacher Kotoma Somero Lokosoroti Senior Secondary School Eneru Kamnara kede ipudesha lui ikotone teoto anwengara kina okodwe kwa kupokwa nama mkese jatatu mosomero jasa krono showman so dai na kinije background ebe pone bana golo kine risemero idobe pona ne jata risemero ikeda krono covid jakatola ki alimo kino nibe the assessment that they have already done duchinelo sioto ridwelo ore sota inyakun mami swama ikeda showman ne baka ibo line karichula mdangon etioka ke kiro surikine Patrick alimokino ni kamnara kede pole betra uri akaswa mboro kede pole betra Puganda aswam owaike kwana akotenga inake ni eja kaiti olaki dakanalu daunalu to give us a way forward as a technical person kede kwana ni angeta kindo enerwork na rebuno na shoma na messages le just ma zoom sms le jukutos tungane kede bodo simule loste kwana itunga ainomu nara etenga hageutisimu na inoko ekoroseto ngalimu na keche au misho. What recommendations would you put in place? Araite ni korona itebe ja sidu eluto more their future is taken care of.
Yalamanoi, Charles Akero, and I'm also grateful to the panelists who are here who have given their own contributions. A way forward, Letengo. We know that the situation is still alarming.
Yeah.
COVID is real. It is here to stay. One most important thing, let's accept that the disease is there. Then let's know that it can be avoided. Why and how? By observing the steps. These are very simple things. If people were able to see, we are putting on masks here for all that time. None of us is complaining. Inyoma mono kingang ni chamtora na pita boro no ponu a mask sinu eminete no chala lim nangna agwela mask era expensive konya agwelo ne chupa le waragi e gagola bale micros kwa no chalo yangena e para na agwelo ni ngoni noi ata maberoni e protecting ata aoka wat ijode sanitizer jalo chalo ngule bakas amata nge waragi mami konai mamanga dumuna de kana. That is a myth. Mami swama as long as you're careless. Beti jadomun. So, swama ja kroni sopsimun. Very important. Then a tupit kisila lena kitone ministry langa le walk. Jakiro munu kere. Iswa morning un everything will be okay with us. Also di bodo aoriak alimu ngura na uni. The future ni kwa it is with the schools. It begins with you. Charity begins at home. Ogeberi puga iko koreang na reka jalimbe. Imali mune pedorito. igeja tamangina e parana sario nare jasori ponisho pero sario nyo idue osodi ibore baka e counseling ije ni biro jeda be je mwali mechie je njono chalo angne imina naro ni noi ije njo be je bere mwali more koningina obore atutu bete koningina pero na ringe sarado pe kokoro ko ngarete bere ka koku isi siana mo bere ngopo ngol aro na assignment okwesi nare mwali muni kido ka kopana e jasi mwali muni jalo me keda me de kede boreda iya la mikine to no ngara ni koni koku ipedado muna papola ka fana na nara rengo muna kiro ne jasa papola mun olembere jo ogu tamre da gola ni kon ko kari pedori ire rebere ngesi da ganga ni bore ngin o sodi interventions lu pe ota samalimu ona ne kato ima moni uri akicham ne kata kolo ke mo kiro beta cham makachi so age aton beranin alo se to nai to no do e work do wodo na pana ay monyo na limu to ngin ngin na bala ngo be e jiso mero le ka pe chamu to ste ngara ti do konye ko pane wen na ke senyo akanini ipe do ber yara gwel na ra rimu da kwano yangar jo somero wo ku jera sberi ko su do asam sine kwana iso ja iso somere ko piso ko pa di usaitas ai mobilizinga i mwalimun mamerati oni sana ja iso mainene so ngunu da noi inera so we are in touch with our staff because we are still operating amera be ko golo to repane golo lo office na koskere office ni ko senga nara noi so please parents let us help, let us intervene where possible. Mamili munibe apugan nge soma ngini bore kere. If you don't help yourself, then nobody will help you. Government is just a top organ that passes policies and helps where it can. But help begins with you as a parent. Then kere bore sa oriak ipejo ni kre chabero somero ngi nai. Dumne sa dim setas. Piene ni somero so gente be anyoka be jas anyoka jasi. Nari mena sa kwa mane do asam sine. Ado maybe you don't get a message in mina sa jukuna jukan mina sa jukunu ni message no o parents pain ko anjiba kumji wanyu ni do ne ebu ni ko kamu ne material kata ngol kwati so somera ne ji materials ko parle beti damnation ale munun oli mun bere jabe to dik bere nganyu chabere ngoda anubo nari chiedo la kwana munaro sido la kwana
yego
e pero chala sa kora rara ayna ni chiek kwana konya para sa ko ina munar do noi age oto kwa adu na girlfriend so somero ya ne ni chane ni aso jo bere lo to jo show me ngoma poda o mengi changina. Now, how is your children how are your children benefiting from those things? Please monitor the behavior of your children and then also give guidance and counseling. Mami remo ito sude sana kerebe misiro je bere da pakai so making say time table be kwana jo. Los beroni misiri. Bongun tesa ya swam. Isani kanye uni olto bere sa action Pakistan tromon. Osio de beri no slupe jasi bere lo du mutu koloke sanen. Igangi ni no wanyo bi kamni kon ko kibore. Nare jala kaji kok dona yang aro somero. Etiono kere bosa ipuch. Idu ala data ya madai ni bono. Etiono noi. So do your part. Ijo kengangi na. Ore daite kok bo show me. Ejabere luche mun. Irere onori kapalum torango. Ngon epote ay ngaraki noni. Then apupono de body radion. Ajine ngobeja beta edwa show mala palo so diti. Konye ere disappointment anaja ngo kafa na limu torengo. Konye mo do kafe bala rapugan. Let's do our part. And then we continue to implore upon government if they can have a change of heart but moto kwacha jala na chat bere opoto bere ado peta muti kwaen mambo tiero no gwa expoda kunginda kwa pelipete bingara tede koni isirere ngoni ingara ka teker apolo to e jok yala manai.
Well, toro ni toma short commercial break do ni bongna doni atekera kotenga isimunukus ido abune ngashoma na messages dangula da utwalo muntu ma Zoom. And probably if my production team can get me in touch with a few people on Zoom, the order is very clear. You raise your hand on Zoom, then we can give you at least 1 minute there as a participant of this program. Note uni kanyangu ni yare kanyangu wangone note kanyangu kere wangon ngese namba le simu sori kinijo ayona kono misho alweja si toma Airtel minase no note kanyare note diopet kanyangu wangon note yare keda idiopet SMS ojuka kidojo lokone simu toma note kanyare kedi kany ikanyuni wongone note kanyuni uni keda yare preya bikakin SMS konen o patana do kana so ainer keda jo otomo program anepani econ program de Teso gang
To take that next step in your education or career, Nkumba University, a private chartered university, invites you to experience a quality education tailor-made just for you. We offer programs using convenient study modes such as distance and online learning in the fields of computing, business administration, law, art and design, education, social sciences, nursing and midwifery, and many more. With our affordable tuition and friendly payment modes, students can study after paying as low as 40% of their fees. Admissions for the August 2021 intake are currently open. Apply now online or at any of our campuses. For more information, reach us at nkumbauniversity.ac.ug. Call or WhatsApp 0782 350389 or 0753 099 733.
Get the MTN Kabode smartphone and pay Pola no stress. Dial *165 *5 *2 # to know if you qualify. Then rush to your MTN service center today and get the Kabode smartphone. Pay for it Pola at only 5,000 Uganda shillings per week for 6 months using MTN Momo. Terms and conditions apply. Everywhere you go, MTN. Be aware of conmen. Only accept calls from MTN on 0312-120-000. MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. Reachable on 0800-222777. Toll free.
It's 4 p.m.
Agentune sawakalo ngesinum tijo MTN itasoma pointa na konuka MTN senchu osodijo adumuna minat luka titai MBs luka titai arai messages luka titai ichikak star idopetu ongon dopet hash oseku use points osodi atupaki ntubitai tetere dumuni aina kinende kon naka senchu.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Welate kerkwangen ngesdeng Arturo Kosimu kopokwanado ikoto adomoto kaumisha nejasi itunga. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, ngekro.
This is Moses from Zombo.
Moses all the way from Zombo district.
Yes, exactly. Meanwhile, I'm a born of Kabramaido, and I love this program so much. I want to thank the panelists inside, and also our sister from abroad. I want to touch one or two things. One of them is actually the first one is for my sister abroad that talked about culture. Actually, that is where I want to put my submission on. My sister has talked about it, but that is where I have a problem with. You know, whereas the culture is good, but I always treat it as a yardstick to measure where we are and where we are going. You know, those days when education system has entered Uganda, you know, people who started it were few, and you know, it was a scattered kind of a system. But right now, when you look at the population of Uganda so far, it has grown so there are no jobs. In fact, a student reaches senior 4 and does not know what he's intending to do. So COVID-19 has really come in to open our eyes. And that break was enough for the government of Uganda to see how she can really put right the education system. You know, our government in our different ministries, but zeroing to education department, should be able to get out of the traditional way of thinking, and they should launch a new system of education. I wonder if our sister from abroad could tell us how this system works from where she is right now. I happen to be an engineer by profession, and I went to Israel for my further education, and I realized I counted a young girl who was around 19 years and has got paths that were more than I don't know who in Uganda. Then she's also owning a very serious company. When I asked her about it, she was like, "For me, this is the profession I started from childhood. Now, for us in Uganda, you realize even A-level, a student is able to change combinations before you finally think I should do this one. I've changed many. I thank God for really when I started. For me, I went to that technical school in Soroti, St. Chizito. My intention was to study and know only how to build. But praise God, I'm now called engineer. So the government need to revise the system. If there is something good, at least a student should be specific. No wonder why girls get pregnant and boys are messing around. They have not realized the benefit because they see those who have gone to school, they are not creative, they don't have jobs, you see, those kind of things. So I would think the government should revise the system and fix everyone. Sports are there.
Okay.
Music, whatever skills are there. But now when you ask a child that what do you want to be in future, the child will tell you two professions. One, I'm going to be a doctor and I'm going to be an engineer. What about the rest? So we need to get out of that kind of thinking if we are to progress in education. Thank you.
Right, thank you. A born of Kabermairo, and he's doing his job. He works in Zombo district, and that is where he has called from. Thank you for that wonderful info. Then we have Jakaiti Opoloto Samuel on Zoom. Let me have some small bit of seconds. I ask my production team to let me have Opolot Samuel to have his take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is Samuel all the way from Jinja. I'm a teacher by profession. I do teach, but the challenge really is we need to understand and the children Teso they're in a very sorry state. Here in Busoga, for example, the parents have taken a role. I always move on the streets and I see if there were at least 5 homes, they can have a teacher that please come and help us to teach our children. They can maybe do they call for teachers. If it is maybe in the primary, I Mara Musuguna Science to the SST. Like in a village where I come from, that is in Kamacha. These people can be in position like I was there, I was talking to them. But you people, don't wait government. The issue of schools, government is planning, yes, they are planning very well, but the challenge is not all resources go to the places. Most government planning, the way I am seeing, it is pivotal or it works in town. In town, a child can sit on a radio, that is good. We have been learning on Zoom. In the village, you can't have stable internet where you can learn on Zoom. That one cannot happen. Then, at the end of the day, you have exams. That is, for example, what you said. You teach, at the end of the day, just like when they release today, next month you have exams. When you have been learning on Zoom or from this primary teachers, it will work. So on my, just say the parents should try to talk to the teachers and the teachers.
Oh, okay. Though your network is junking a little, but I think we've got the point. Ebe tikwa na ochalo ingina ire riado edol tosikany esa ibuma kino sota dumu ne mwalimu lishana kini lukusidwe ngese baleja kaito Polot Samuel uriata loka macha ijailaije toma district lo Jinja ebe kota uriaka to have that cluster setting ebe ireri aikany kanyape ibuma kino solem te mwalimu ingara kiase aishana kini idwe wele ngareko simu notu ni kanyango diare kanyuni wangone not kanyuni keda wangon. Somebody says that, yes, Voice of Teso, thank you. This is Ochaba Ivan from Serere. But I want to appreciate my colleague Brenda for her speech. He's also a student of Alshon High School. In fact, life is so hard from out, and it's his appeal to the leaders and parents to help children because it's beyond limit. Sebala Ochaba Ivan. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Yoga program.
Yoga jo ngai kon kiror.
Nyareto ngo engineer James Kwe.
Engineer James Kwe ngise tarebe jasnu kore ya limun.
Na so ditia kata baranga chalam kime program kailosia. Weda umisho are ne jasengo. Na so dit enara na situnga muna kautu. I want to contribute something toward technical education as the presenters were. Enara bete Patrick according to what for agent technical education is not always as every. A technical education is one of the key and hardest education as far as the Ministry of Education is concerned. And sometimes I even imagine when these people are saying that to convert technical schools. If you want to know the technical education, how hard it is, during your body, technical educations were few. Meaning that to facilitate a technical school, to equip the outcome of a product of a technical school, must be put attention in a very high sensitive manner. Kwenye kopani yani ye karua dulu tu. Idumuni ye togo a commercial house or center back. A technical school. Idumuni ye pariadi rikita maira. A technical school. And that is why Uganda is now resulting into problems as far as technical services are concerned. Idumuni yobone be itunga velo mito technical schools are half-baked. And then the other thing is, and yes, I agree with that. A parent is supposed to play a highest percentage as far as upbringing a child is concerned. Kwenye enera bait a koto ni agya otai kore doeda at a certain point and a certain level. We come on a racket a jar. Nari John can do a set theory. You don't be cooking a to college for us. A boy and also rotiani. Ija calling it a boluni, yellow or down, ija so colleges, institutions, participate already, participated to go down a so. Ija parent of Jalo, planning support, thinking that it could what I to concentrate as a win for overall omidi and in a single. Konya insan inajeta esimu smartphone as change it to a different business. Thank you.
Thank you. And Moses Egudu from Ngora, Barabonbe Charles, Brenda, had mentioned something very appreciable. Parents should play their roles equally. Thank you. And we have some messages also here online. This is Isu Dominic Palsagule. He says that the only thing is to observe SOPs and use the nearby available teachers, that is to say from nursery to institutions. We have at least a teacher nearby. Let us utilize them. And the other thing is to buy your children books to read at home. That is what is recommending us to do. Kwape auriak. Ngaresimu not uni kanyangoni yare kanyuni one not kanyuni keda uongon. Voice of Teso automatic promotion can never help the children of Teso. Better our children stay put in their classes. This is Moses Ebadu from Obalanga. Sebalangesi. And I have somebody who says that Uganda is a country where priorities are done upside down because the issue of e-learning has been benefiting the rich. Therefore, automatic promotion, that automatic promotion is a plus to the rich compared to a P1 child in Ongunai, which haven't seen a television yet. Charles, let's not pretend the situation in Teso is red hot. Now, with this COVID and how to reach and approach hot January together with the fees structure in our schools, I am seeing a low percentage going back to school. This is Musa in Ongunai, Kamuda. Thank you, Musa. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Voice of Teso. Hello.
Yes, this is Voice of Teso. Yoga.
Neratajo kira Teso stala ilo luka ngori.
Yes, I know. Not just Makai.
Yung ako tang esala mikini mwale jaso studio pa na choro so kira uria. Mama ya rabi te bombe jatio ni za auria kada dio ye. Konye kuto kapa uria ne koja anyi bonde bia di koku ya ni ngajo so meri so sira wanyamar. Dobi koku ngine jo so mero ngine jai boto mo poni bani orente jai nyesi konye jai to mo so mero. Ake follow kopane auria kade koto kesi da ngine dio poni le pedodor ke singara itu weja sore. Ake follow ngara Teso stay shala mitongi mwalimu no aluke sabunero studio alimo ise poni jara shioma.
Thank you, Yalamanoi. And then Michael Okwalinga Emo call on Zoom. He says automatic promotion will bring more problems than it will solve. Children in P5 last year would go straight to P7, having missed 2 years of education. Will they pass their exams, or are we setting up a whole generation to fail? That is what he is saying. Hello?
Hello.
Yoga.
This is Peter from Kumi.
Yes, a teacher from Kumi.
I'm Peter from Kumi.
Peter from Kumi. Yes, Peter.
Yes, I'm also by profession. But the only challenge we have in Teso is that parents have totally refused to support their children. In such a way that they cannot even pull a single shilling. It's also when you go to Uganda, I have been in Wakiso. There a parent is able to pay money. Ayaunune mwalime shana in kokore. Kopokwana, not even waiting the pugan. But for us, we are waiting the January. Let's keep on waiting it on January. Ours will go to school to the next class. Mambo regenta tukota ananyonata. They have not learned anything. Now they will move to the next class. They have not learned. They remain as a neighbor regenerated. You just start afresh at doing. But yet they will be promoted automatically because they are studying at home. So parents of Teso, I'm only trying to request and just say, let's try to invest in Ejasoki. It's just hours here, for us here in Kumi. Since I came home, no one has told me that please come and help my daughter, come and help my son. Just I cannot waste my time to go and teach. You can't give me even 5,000.
Yalamanoi should be an experienced teacher there from Wakiso, so you can grab him in Kumi. Thanks a lot, Joel from Oyomai. To me, what is very important is giving enough sensitization to all people about the vaccine, and parents should also play their part since they are more closer to their children. Okay. Hello? Hello? Okay. We lost him, and this one is... yes, Michael Okwalinga still he continues saying, I can understand the government wanting to reduce the risk of transmission of coronavirus by closing places where people flock. However, it is difficult to understand why places of worship are open and yet schools remain closed and shut. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yoga? Ngai Kiror?
Arango Mwalimu Kiror.
Yes, Mwalimu Kiror.
Kutuma silamin bere pano kere an nuis kama itesi. Ada kutuma silamin weja sinini kere. Akutuma silamin ipan weja sinini. Dere kesa kama shomani. Ituto si ai choro iuri iliole maitos. Noi murkiok. Dere kesida edu munta choreta. Alko pana kupenge kusinere too general. I am not seeing an input deliberately direct to the disabled. In this part, I'm not knowing I couldn't getting a debt utility. Again, his status. I could tell in a you should have a deliberate approach, a direct message to the parents of the disabled and disabled children. such that children are not left out. I personally am visually impaired, and I am a mwalimu. Jina moducha chokena soma kinidwe kubongo so area kwa simola si kwa simu chok kesulu nye kita tutale kau so ekote mo members of the jasmine otamutu tawne even the blind children the disabled children are helped with information
Yalama noi alo berete magwel na doko yetenga bongun kede isimun ka messages chelo ya utostunga tomo studios dodo kwenyete ibuno na bongono kina krono tetirepa na wanao otomo program work the Teso gang.
This is Voice of Teso 88.4 the people's choice. Longe 8H Railo lopechoti aido malo kore loda itopolo unta nepe ano naro ipirioitin luko naro raida lengiri kinta de kasine noi ngina de mina inome mdunga araibo loda mina bobo atwal keda amona rida akuike Eraile joko noi na rai arapeta kengun erai tenino na kineta gogonko mamde pedorita iboso sek erai nyesila parasa kwatata kanito na parasa kwatata kaisare eraile chamunita aputo no kedo itela oko kieren erai da nyesi tani ni yara trubete toni iwuni angoli misiri
Raina isiraret na de yanga untijo siova odolokeso tomo namba le simu enoti kanyare kanyeuni kanyape kanyeuni ikanyangon kanyape araibonat enoti kanyare yari iuni diopete noti.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
You look stranded.
Madam, you look beautiful. I hope you could be of help to me. Today's youth keep mocking us old men that we don't have jobs. For that reason, I'm looking for a strategic place for making chapatis and mandazi. But I don't know whether I'll get the right baking flour.
Sir, you are at the right place. The only baking flour that has made the youth to buy land plus everything they need is drum. You can use drum baking flour for making chapati, mandazis, daddies, and customers like the taste. You can use around 3 cartons in a day. Isn't it surprising?
Where can I get it from?
Find drum baking flour in shops across the country and their branch here in Soroti, located in Oderai, opposite Goshen Primary School. Call 0759 722 126 for more information.
Are you a saloon owner? Stand a chance to win big in the Move It Get More for Less promotion. Win up to 5 million shillings worth of stock in a draw when you buy a Move It hair pack worth 150,000 shillings. This pack comes with an instant free Move It hair shin spray, an apron. Look out for the Move It sales van or call your Move It area sales representative to buy your lucky pack today and get more for less. This offer is valid till 30th of July 2021. Terms and conditions apply. Move it. All day confidence.
The management of Jeresa High School Soroti informs parents and guardians that registration of students who are to join Senior 1 to Senior 6 has started. The school is both day and boarding senior secondary school located along Soroti Mbale Road. Registration fee is only 20,000 shillings. Bring your child to Jeresa High School for quality education and moral development. Jeresa High School emerged the best school in the region in the just released Senior 4 and Senior 6 results, with the best students scoring 8 for the best 8 and 20 for 20 points respectively. The school has a history of passing students in high grades with a dedicated teaching staff. The school also has a well-stocked library and a laboratory for sciences. For details, call 0780-468-709 or 0782-341-266 and 0772-997-746. Jeresa High School, God our hope.
Well, kwangen sote bona irekin messages che baledo pe message le ada chakun nebe Charles. Mwalimu read Simon Peter from Amuria. For me, the issue of automatic promotion can't work, mostly in village schools, because our children who are in the villages, mostly those who are in P3, P2, and P1, have even forgotten how to write. How can you promote such a kid? Let's give them time in their classes, like 1 term, then they will be promoted. Thank you. And actually, it says to all the panelists here that thank you, and the young girl, Brenda. She's a brilliant girl. She's going to be a future leader. Okay, thank you. And somebody says, honestly, automatic promotion will have a negative impact on the future generation. That will cause many failures and dropouts in P7 and Senior 4 if the parents are not taking care of that. Hello.
Yoganoi.
Ngai
Nerekere musorai siguro matai.
Akotonga
nimbe automatic promotion na bedaya ndo mangajini bisa songare ni bisa so mando ni step idade. Ongabi okay lo P5 kwa kalamar P6. Mambere kam sasa tela bas lo P5. Kwa kalamar P6. Gudo ni ko na from P5. So automatic promotion ya kama ya mashika supporting art.
Okay. It will not answer the plight of our children. This is Reverend from Tapar. The thing I want to say is let parents do their roles because every area has a teacher. So let parents utilize the teachers and start teaching in their villages. Thank you. That is what he says. Prayer along kerena kuna umishoit still ngarikit joy line not uni kanyangon yare kanyun wangon not kanyuni keda wangon. Hello.
Yes, Savio Yoga.
Yoga Nui.
Okelo Soroti City.
Yes, Okelo Soroti City.
Baraka umishoit there. Akira no automatic promotion is now very clear. Remember from guidance la technical people. Deja oko kwa puna itunga data jeni korse ngare ni kita depi itunga data technical mwalimu na sideline. That decision should have come from guidance law in mwalimu. So whoever took that decision should be really sick. Because a parent, they're not going to buy into that idea. Kako will begin at P1, even after 7 years, must begin from P1. So that it takes the due course and programming la showman. Aside saying in Narangese Jokonoi, but she seems to be more obsessed with what people think about her to but to me, she would rather be more concerned of what God will think. Show me as more dire consequences from the rim decade at the community. That is a human thinking. God is thinking, you will reap terrible consequences and you can't survive.
Okay. Charles, this is Osomon Peter. That is from Orupe. Automatic promotion may not be of help to our children, but let the ministry give promotional exams to these learners. Maybe from there we can be able to see who has gone through or who is not able to be promoted to the next class. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
you're speaking to Seven from Bobongoi. Yes, my idea to that thing, I don't support automatic promotion because it gives people to delay to pay school fees, and it gives people to stop paying what school fees to their children. So let the teachers wait until this lockdown finishes. That's what I think. I don't support it.
Thank you. If parents do not own the education of their children and be responsible, then our children are going to be casual laborers, thieves, drunkards, and security guards. I wish I was part of these people in the studio. Thank you, Mr. Benono Kolmong. We shall invite you another time because he's a tutor, so he has a brain to give us good information. Hello.
Hello.
Ekror?
Ulak say muna piulai.
Yes, Apeulai.
Muna support ngarakiro mai.
Okay, thank you. As we discussed about the plight of our children, that the way I wish if the government could allow the children to study in their villages, because I am so optimistic that each and every village has a teacher or teachers that can help these children instead of waiting for automatic promotion. This is James all the way from Amuria.
Yoga.
Ngakror.
Arukuogola ine. Kodonga temar be yala mere kutungale jaso studio.
Okay.
Konya kana kugane be automatic promotion ngun promoted ngun mana job. Era P1 P2 P0 pero residu nguna duita nada tukona ngun. Konye P0 tubori P so ma osama tabara doctor la pedo pe. Pero nere te kunya te nguna tukare.
Okay. Okay. Yalamanoi. Okay, Yalamanoi. This one says, Charles, thanks for the program. Simon Obonipe from Mukura. It is truly hard to understand where our country is heading. Check on this. All our neighboring countries are operating normally. President Museveni would have opened the schools and places of worship together than opening up markets. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Ngai kiror kun.
John Serere.
John Serere.
Abaye be. Ipo mo so afuga mo ko dai dira mo ko dai amon nan. Iko ke na cho ada ma melo so mere cho. Eloto bo ngisi ni nada. Dele lu ne ba cho, dele lu ne be ba. Ide mo ku da jete polo be balance ngata je na cho na ko. Mo ra lo lo so diko ke. Ada bere ne si se na da ni kari. De karu kere, de bi lo na tu ko se na kitala ne karu kere. Automatic pe volo to ngare.
Okay. Jokseje mwalimu ne pene bala bo automatic promotion lo tatidwe ngare nari dwe lupolu are bangana are cho nari pera ishana kini ko kikaruni da mame tubi. So the good thing we have a very experienced person, people here. The teacher is here. Mr. Okello has also been a person hands-on in terms of education or to do issues to do with education, worked with the civil society organization, so he knows it better. And somebody says the problem is our learners are struggling to be DJs and celebrities. They don't mind of education, the real education. And then Jimmy Amuria, for him, he says we have more than 3 teachers in both primary and science, secondary school in our village, but they are just there free because village parents are hard with money. Kepoleja simu alimu lupolo somero already akeda uriak. Frank Egwalo, the teacher, Princess Gate Nursery and Primary School, Soroti Sitine. I disagree with automatic promotion. It can't work for our children down here. What kind of leaders are we going to have? People who say automatic promotion to these learners is not a good idea. Okay. Well, I believe our time is also running and getting fast spent here. I would want to take it straight to Melissa. Melissa, we want to bring you on board to give us your last insights towards this discussion and give us also a word of hope. You know, people always, we live in hope or with hope. Se korate kiro ara ide ja sakronu o jaidu chitunga muno be mamo ibore roko nare tuno na jala kino ko tungeting to sita uno kwa nano ibe eroka kiro. Yes. Let me have Malsa. Yes, madam.
Moderator. Dodo, on a final note, as long as there is life, there is hope. Ebunte corona low, but then we are realizing that this corona has created opportunities. Like now, people can work from home. So that is something which we need to build up on. And these are some of the information we need to share with our children so that they know that there is hope ahead. There is hope ahead. And also, someone was encouraging earlier about taking vaccinations. I, for one, I had both vaccinations. Mama ngakwana anokunit, mami bore netaka nunit. Konye ngini bore kerera kanine deke. Aranye twene na unit ajeni be edeke nesi kona yi, nesi eka ikona yi directing ka steps, nesi to nikinge karot, nesi daritengo. Narai ipika kona ya lungo to makiromi nera akwa penora kontawa ngedarda. Konye rauna pika inoko agogong neje deke. Kapitesi roni tunganwi pikaita gogong nejedeke itungano no kolose kida no papawo amuno sedeke no inesaja kese akize gogong Nare mena tanu che borokere erongede ke buni. Dodo, like what another gentleman said earlier about changing the education. When some of us were in school, and I'm now hearing it's still the same. It's like to be successful, you had to be a doctor, you had to be an engineer, you had to be a teacher. But now what is happening and what we are seeing is there's a lot more. There's a lot more to life than just being a doctor and an engineer. And actually, if you come to the diaspora, iwanyi tungakati plumbers, electricians, nesenyame tebe wero kitile polo doya depa mwiboeto office. Iteberejo Uganda kopanida. Il uworo je twembo modu kopi kai. Ereto na jepa kiniji milioni nwepo. Aibe shisha ureto ngoni ke dukumi. Mame lost to university. A lost to vocational school. He has studied bricklaying. He has studied some elements of engineering. He has studied some elements of plumbing, electricity. Obunetweno dogo bojo yeni dene balabi jones dokata madala lusta inga itene jaije. Ekotona I julak in the way our education system is working and also the messages we give our children. Okay, changing the way the education system is working may be a bit harder than the messages we give our children. Tell our children that already biroronesi P7, that is not the end of the world. Mama kirada unos nare biroronesi P7. Mami borada unos nare biroronesi S4. Mama akwapa golo kinare biroronesi S4. E just nuche subjects nun. Let's encourage our children. Ekotone ai choroko due nusa pakela nupes lube. There is another way. Ejeche road. Imene jalo still or college obore or university konye mama chota majo dane tabero lotu dai shishibo liso Michael Akonika kata nasi ni kwane mmonye titunga nasi na kwapukere mmonye titunga nasi konye polo unisiche tete ditunga joini losa nasi bali birorio konye kopana ejula kinikera kaomo erasi kona nasi na itunga nwe polo konoi kati bujo bulane idumuja nasi ne somata pakine polo e polo brebo ake chwada pare murodo pe e dauta e semiroda iboro kata nu. So in summary akoton ngo oni uri akagara ne jiuri ake kotoni to change the messages ai julakini akironi choroni o kodwe beram jira one Dr. Polo ki biror jo be e kotona pala nu. Number 2 e kotona epikana o komuno ne jedeke nare deke bonesi pe rai gangoni na buni adeka ne baka ya rabere yari musuguru kwana eloto do Afrika ngina ne mamete adeki si anwa be ne mameti ke anwa be eraido kwa bakare do bali chuchi kwana onyabu adeka na egwete Africans erogos Africans egwete anubonyo na rei ejani nyo ayuno hope can take us a long way. Lui kisite so dai mate usuki nywage asitu akoda itunube kakolo kutaka aka eneranu abe abongo sine jo okotunga ngunu kolingi yoni kana tagera nati ajeja kaitla bala be pedo rawuli na tepar be mangalo pe sisi ate mamu kole lenga rakina inkako onya choreta di chori di konkoko polori konkoko nelo sikere itunube hobu toto ko tema kwa no bu papa ko tema kwa na. So ayala banoi voice of Teso anu I work in Nero TV or radio no. So my Tesa somne jokuna ana muno ngobe yiko ine Teso. Nara yesu mpo unesi kupison wipo. Ikupeti tunga ochalo ida no bonor tener kakwara pukuti tunga no. Bonor teta motajun. Ajenge los tenerbe. Ikupero boyo no abako voice of Teso. So ayala manoi.
Well, especially hearing from their daughter, who is hustling and trying to push life all the way from London, talking to people on issues to do with education. Madam Malsa Acham Zimega, Director na Itakron wa Culture, Kerepole Jare, Hijautenolo Tungalai Jotuma London. Let me come to the studio, and I have to maintain still ladies first. I want to have the student, Brenda. Give us a word of hope. Not your colleagues should not lose hope that the world is ending. And we have to swim in these waves.
Thank you very much once more. Yeah, I would like to encourage not only my fellow friends but the public outside there.
Okay.
That please let us continue observing the SOPs. The virus is real. And it's our duty to safeguard ourselves because nobody is going to come in to safeguard you. You're the very right person to safeguard yourself. So please observe the SOPs. Let's respect the government. And above all, prayer is always the strongest force we have. We have to put our knees down, pray hard to God. Yeah. Then for my fellow students outside there, yeah, let's continue reading. There is still hope. There is no hope. Just like our mama said, as long as there is life, there is still hope. Don't lose hope. Let's keep pushing. Push hard until something happens. Thank you.
Okay, we need to push hard. Eja kaitolaki. Yakwan nangata kina program lo as a technical person, a professional in the making, in the game. Give us your last comment.
Okay, alamanoi, Charles. Kodo brenga bongo kinu na ne alimute jakait lo be Justin Okiror.
Ebo.
Alimute nges ngote commenting. Mama muroite lera si disable ngol ngolana. Ngola lo pola rengo, ten la ngolana renge muduko. So na tanga limun kesinota. Apugan first of all otako pana core materials ini print lo ekwenyete. Mame wata jani kini kui. Le pon le periodization mbo la wake braille. So apolo ke ngulu kere jalai to kau. Esi ori akare ji kon ko kene show me. Aro muduka na ngespain. E dum bere material le chol muno ke kesena chan bo sioma na enteluda. Mondo ko dum kes di chebo ranin. So do wali mun kana ko kanata. Imalimun, let's have the heart and love for what you do. Eji ene kota ngarena na jajo. Ngarak do bere ngis ko kwain. Ire wadi si chemo ni dumuni kera ko pana. Kuji di mina na duma ini che. Also the isomeroi. I'm encouraging schools and school heads. Keep in touch with your Ikusidue. I know most of you have contacts of your Ikusidue mul. Try to get in touch with them. Communicate to them. It will help. Then I come back to my school here. We have been developing school materials, Soroteses. And Mr. Kerr doesn't charge me since he wants us to advise on how to change the plight.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, S3.
Just go ahead.
S3, S5, ereke materials so somero. S1, S2 da jale jukutai. Mulu kere jasi. Auriak jukuti kusduo muti boromul. Iganga ente kesi. Kerno pana lepit nani ngobe. Kapa lepit orang itunga kere buna chaman lo PTL omara. Isima idea na balango. Ikonata vereso. Ipejo ini kinete. Ianga jari. Ianga jari diskwana me okwe ngarasi kwa sidue. Kwako pane tino rakero ne COVID kwana. Iboro le wake US idale tachi somere kwana. Kwe goal to somere. Mamete kere ngulda. So it is difficult for school sa ngaraki ninyo. Ikusidue. So please, auriak. Ebu mainosi. So that we have the heart for our children of Teso. Most of us are on the Teso. Ikoto ni waka to luoko da ngaren. Meroni on leja imalo ngini pak. Epote results, national results are just on imalo. Ebaka east where kwain. Okwelo laurea. Eganga inos beroni. Etopolo si wakidwe. Ekeo ti wakidwe. Amno rengo esu. Are ngusho na jokak. Yalama.
Yanamanoi, and we would also want to take this time alimokina take ribonebe kapona ni balabaja soko guests lo abetaja utkedo nine tomo studios chairman lo C5 alaijo tomo district alo 10 eja kaiti Nelson lo akol betingesaja utkedo nine kwenye angasinge sachi eja kaita odongo lasi chairman 5 alaijo district alo ngora the same story kapera tare soma kalujana kineti tunga jenbojo ja situnga kida kizeti okiso baka be chairman so angasibere kesachi jaka ito ulo Simon Peter nat pupone babe taje kini kedo ni ne pene kwenye do kwa pejeni ajobe nero na krone kamnara kede digital migration and issues to do with the technology bala bonbe mamu kopoko na ngese network pera chamakina enere kedo ni otoma apak na lolo tomo program alo kwenya chamto mobetomo program si chira reporte ko ngaren epore do kwa na kesi abungesi da route diope otomo tunga luda epota inakene nukecha umishi otomo programs duchulu inera oniane otoma okwamin. So let's first go for a short commercial break. Abungu ote kede commercial break ngona bunenga adomuno the senior citizen eja kaito Kelo Patrick, executive director loka Agributek Billington Vocational Serere, right by chairman loka PTA Ngora High School. Ainakinoni EYK. Achuti no people have contributed much talking about vocational education and skills. you'd also probably be able to tell us about how effective is this as you close the remarks con Narai, you have that experience of running a vocational school and you will be even having the challenges at hand, at play. Narai banane chetweni no mutesime bara. Ebe idun kwa raji pariada sipokina mairo neno gudo baka ebe vocational school ngon. Ichie alo samaju da golo kina puai kede puai bekaketu nganan ebe vocational school nges ngon nati. Tikwa nane polo mama shomane peroto la ngaraki no kodwe jok. Let's first go for this short commercial break, and when we return, we shall be heading to that.
This is Voice of Teso, 88.4, the people's choice.
Yes, win Uganda shillings 100,000 weekly in the 5 for 5 jackpot at Centenary Bank. Simply download the Sente mobile app from Google or Play Store. Click Sente on the go to open your account online. Then join thousands of customers transacting 5 times or more using Sente mobile, Sente Visa and Sente Agent to stand a chance to win. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. So participate in the 5 for 5 jackpot and win millions in daily and weekly prizes. Centenary Bank, our bank. Centenary Bank is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
Neighbor, please open. Hurry up. It's an emergency.
Mama John, look at the time of the night. What's the problem? Calm down.
It's Tata John. He can't breathe well. He's very badly off. I think it's COVID now. Please help us.
But Mama John, your husband has not been feeling well for over a week now. I remember I had the similar symptoms, but I got treatment early and now I'm okay. Let me call the ambulance.
Seek medical attention as soon as you start feeling fatigue, headache, cough, loss of taste and smell. Early detection and treatment of COVID-19 increases your chances of a full recovery. Check COVID-19, Chijakugwa. If we wash our hands, sanitize, practice social distancing, and wear masks. This message is brought to you by the government of Uganda.
Kwangene kede deo dakara Disney deo nakero nine peta ato munare alomare santo munado pelu atibongdo ikoda chamu tozo program be santo munado pe sharp buno na nyuna neotomo studios. But as I head to the senior citizen, you'll have to give us your opinion and a way forward. Somebody, Claire Odongo, says a great point raised by panelists. I think this one I give a plus to you guys in the studio and the listeners as well. Parents also need to take the responsibility and guide the children during this time. And Michael Okwalinga is also wrapping up, saying a big thank to all the panelists and listeners who have contributed to today's program. Thank you very much. I myself in the studio, the moderator, thank you, and Voice of Teso, Ebe Yoga Atekerdo Kere. And then Echabu Francis, as we head to the issues of the institutions, other institutions of learning, the principal Shoa, he said, thank you for the program. Under COVID-19 pandemic, we need to embrace the new normals. I support the idea of automatic promotion, but we need to understand curriculum adjustments to cater for this abnormal situation. This is a temporal measure, and I believe that the education system will go back to normal with the time. Yes, the senior citizen.
Yela mono ate kere lu pupoto nachkos neja London de pole liptoro ba ara koda kinoso ne emails kede WhatsApps kwangeni. Sakota na lipjo Patrick Omo berja akoda kiningen.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, that pakini kwa na a way forward. One, mwalimu na kotongo ILPS kopa inero mwalimu paperukus nebe. Inya kutberna uko mwisho bonbe. Betio ni I defending and that profession of ours. In times of hardness, in times of joy, in times of whatever. Abo kutberna mo matabonbe. Iko contribution ngesingo pongon enyiko kizi. But I want you to uptake now, this digital technology. Mamechi opone kere, it has come to stay. Matapoli shishata kerono a computer. Even if you have some little manager, kana centers which are computer nangun. Tethering arakinetesi. PowerPoint presentation is the in thing now. So those are basics really. You don't even need a week really for you to get some of these things right. Net Pakini, head teachers, members of governance, the PTAs and so on. Akotanga ILPS ikatunga ijiko kinabreza koda kena kede mwalimu nukuzu kede ishana idueda kuzu. Give them hope. For me, more or less every week I consult a number of my PTA people, and just to find out how they are, and also encourage them. What are you saying to Ngalukote? You just get a job, and that's the way to go. Spend a little time and be connected. Now, and they just all do it because people are just people concerns and just automatically nyakuta so mishobe ngare ngesi o waikuzu wanji ba aisho man ngese do pona ngesa la chitero pelo ngara kiniasi akirono ona tukutukuto tata ikwangino wanji beresi eduele po are rele buto lo chana do boida yata kimba chana irengona chanun, so that cycle will continue. You break out, be a chance now, an opportunity anojo I tojo kare jo tinlo rekus jo na tutokon kira koni jar dongarin, so ngesa ishom. So kwana abu derene jase ngiste moderator be akirona vocational training kinana. Is there hope in it? Nyo bere kopana do kon kwangin. Now akota ngai twasema ka somero la Apollo Kintion. Institute of Agriculture Business and Technology. Lo kwana jula kirobe Agritech Billington College. Nare kwana we merger from Institute of Agriculture Business and Technology kede kwana Billington, former Billington Vocational Center is now one school headed by me. That's why it is now called the college, Agritech Billington Vocational College. So a jakwana so campus is here. A campus dopere Agritech, a jasi goes into agriculture, both for diploma and certificate. Certificate that you're senior for, and you have any 3 passes, whether history, geography, or what, any 3 passes, come to us. We shall give you an opportunity. Now, if you have also any credit in anything, because our skills get cotton, Chapak Naja Koni Bachara Kunku, Ubia. It also company registration, a real community monobone, yes, registering as well as Papidario and Kwang. Now, for diplomas, diploma, because you Odumute Bere at least 1 principal and 2 subsidiaries at A level. Are so much certificate Konyakin. So those must be science-related subjects. No. Nara gina itergiara gina motmod. So nenda registration kerilu community among ibunyojo. We are down from 20 to 10,000 now.
COVID.
Kota anyibe suku nyutiboru neja situnga nyesunga konyaki no. So nguno shomile ngunu kwa per semester. They have 2 semesters. Kwenye lo certificate shomile kwa lo senior secondary school 3 terms. So ajina mkopana njati ya dobudo kwa nisirigini mwasai. Now, lua certificate lu anuata mu irelu kumina kwa takanyi. Yese idumu nje operi jo ngina idumu nje palisi da ngipa ngina kwa ngini. Luo diploma ngunu admissions keje normally erai August September kana under normal circumstances. So ngunu ngeseta jili kumina kwa takanyare. Semester hoja depare abore atamu. And of course more technical adepare certificate. Yesi keki doke je sirgini mot kwa ngini. Asobo boda Billington kwana campus yellow Billington ija courses luta motor vehicle mechanics ijasi tailoring and garments design ijasi carpentry and ngunboru joinery building and concrete practice welding iborungun. So we have the technical arm na course yes na Billington has been there since 2007. Agritech was opened in 2012. We have held 3 graduations, national graduations, officiated by a group tech where a chairman, executive secretary, UBTEB. Isalo pobubu. So kila tupa kini about a nyara utikototi ya minister lo state for higher education. Bungoni yapa asose woronu RDC lo la jaiso sererne. Also kini a former director of industrial training in Kinyal also officiated in 1. So these are really national certificates and were examined by UBTEB.
Thank you.
The DAT is direct industrial training for non-formal courses. Ariko de ila PRA bon anoike obiabereyo. Ariko de ila pio mwaza kwangin. Nen jeki kwa naso jo I nito on site. Na mama kutura koni musugun. Iji pera ikeo nechulo. Yes. Aso chaboyo. Imak ngati jane oduma ngati akon papula. Ejitu kaluma meshomitozi kwenye jeti kwa nakrono aswa munono. Munu kwa rangi sita msai wadi kana I economic dikesi adumna papula official papula kwa but examined by UBTEB by government. So ngisi kwa nakrono ni jaso ngina.
Okay.
Katunga kotanga libanese be advantage chena alo muno college course aripone be jesu murle angana redwasho man Israel ngesi agrobitek kopani jukaso idwe akaisuna nukanya bagya in 2015 ege onaso I had opportunity to Israel to graduate my students in 2016 enera bedo na jateja kala wabe bungiso dolte Israel ngina Israel is truly a desert, a small country, maybe 12 million. It's not big. Konye pole jula kanditu nguna momo kejanga non I tokogun I te adopted dumu yo liters akasa kanya pe per day. Milk 3 times 20 liters 20 liters 20 liters I te adopted. So those technologies idumu letes are na ishe burukata nkede irrigation technologies is advantage na ikos do a lot na. Many have come back and they have established their own enterprises and I'm grateful to God that is it.
Thank you. Kwangen jala kindo bera no pakna lolo ponangon akuta ngai salami kinwa jasi kida so programalo geunisan kayeuni ne chakiani lu atamatai tupso tomo zoom chuta geune penati geuni Claire Odongo jakait Shagi Margaret Acheger Michael Okwalinga jakait Lupot then Opolot Samuel kidaru che tungada kerea chutino ino ikota salami kin Malisa Cham Zimega nada aina kakepa kanwapa kina lolo aina kinoni nuda ibosa kini taitup anwaito jokari ja utenelo kotunga so denga bomu tomo studios ne yeah you can we can give out the contacts, that's okay. Maybe you can do that before I close
contact ka ara anasa lo musumiro ngoni era yoko kilo Patrick is our executive director.
Okay.
0772 47 3947 Osodikine Arnold Kiringi sere principal. Eke naba 0774 95 9385. Ejaichi eda kwenye bere mupo muniare musa aruru kwesi.
Ibundo kwenye njiko kina limono kina tekeri kamtose semero toma programs da ichebe tupakinete. Kwenye ikota shalamkini Senior Citizen Noeja Kaito Kelo Patrick, Lodere Executive Director Lokagrebutek, Billington Vocational Serere, Chairman PTA Ngora School Bialama Abunere. Koku Brenda Akol, student of Alshon High School, Kota Shalamkini Jo Noyanoi Parakon Pakede, Alimokin Papakeda to Bialama Si. Kwape Voice of Teso, we are really grateful for Kesi Achamakini Jo. Maybe probably I would give you a half a minute. You say hi to them.
Thank you very much.
It is very important.
Thank you very much once more. I would love to send my salams to my papa, Gata Nelson, my grandmother, Aguti Teddy, and the rest.
And the students, teachers.
In fact, I shouldn't forget the school admin. I'm so grateful that I'm here presenting and talking to my fellow students outside there and the public at large.
Thank you. And I would also take this opportunity to say, Mr. Lakio, really want to appreciate the fact that you had your time with us this afternoon. And now we have come to the end of this program. We shall be able to invite you again another time to come and talk to our people. Very pertinent issues, especially when it comes to education.
Thank you. Probably I should also say hi to my head teacher for having delegated me to represent him.
Thank you.
The staff of Soroti Secondary School and all the students. We as administration, we love all of you. We'll meet you when school reopens. Thank you.
Yeah, that is great. And koto sada tema belwa jasi do epupete o signal la kaisa kwenye unichunya kwa on Voice of Teso. Koto shalama kini ya si otoma pakina bakasta bonebe Galaxy or co-program Ponangon. And then Malisa, I think she has something to tell us. Our time is up, but then let me have a half a minute with you because really we need to get out of this place.
Okay, so Akotomo just says Salam Kinesu for hosting the program, Voice of Teso, yourself for doing a good job as a moderator. I want to thank Aido for inviting and giving me this opportunity to represent Teso Education Fund Cultural Department, and also to let you know, now you can access that online on Sundays. And yeah, kotunga malai tunganu reda keren wa pupetengo tungano buko sinongora no pupetengo no atoto kera no papa malai ngono serereda kera ika mwalimu nukolo hareja snu pupete radio lo nukolo madera kere yalama etopolo ngo kera nanga au missiono ena kisinga ya around 20 na rango lo yalama noi
Fine. We want to say thank you, and we appreciate the fact that you've connected to us. Thank you for that connection. And kudos to Temar Bonbe. Jalax Dobera program Oponangon. My name is Charles Akeru. Sunday is going to be another day, same time, same station. God bless you.